And when we were at WDFN back in the day, the Stony Wojo days, and Jamie and Greg and all of that, we were entertaining. We were this little engine that could on an AM signal that came up because it was entertaining. You know, Art Regner was doing Lions postgame shows and screaming off the top from the top of his lungs and saying the Fords were incompetent and going off on Wayne Fonts. And it was funny. Art was entertaining. Art didn't necessarily have to talk about, you're right, the 4-3 defense or A and B gaps to get listeners. I'll never forget when Bobby Ross got hired, and there's Bill Ford, and we were live, and Stoney was there, and Wojo and myself and a few others, and Bill Ford Jr. walks over, and I didn't know him at all, and he turns to Stoney and me, and he goes, "What's Art saying?" Like, and I'm like, "Oh my God, Mr. Ford's son listens to Art?" And I said that to him, and I'm like, "But Art is destroying your father personally at times." And this is Bill Ford. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I can't get enough. I listen to Art every game." Even on the road, he was trying to listen to Art. And this is before streaming. So it was entertaining. So you've got to entertain, Mike. I think I appreciate your comments about what I do. I could do film breakdown. I mean, and the beat writers are so good. All right. And I know this is where you and I could argue, but the Lion beat writers compared to the other teams in town are all like Dave Burkett and Justin Rogers are so good. The Pride of Detroit guys do a great job. All of them, you know, when Kyle was at M Live, now it's Ben. Tim Twentyman with DetroitLions.com. I love some of his breakdowns. I just think they do a good job. So you're going to get that content somewhere else. For me, I'm kind of like a mix of an experienced host, a guy that's been in the market now over 25 years, and a fan. And so I'm just going to be me. And so that's kind of where I go back to the sports radio stuff. You got to be entertaining. I mean, we won at WDFN and did well. We won and did well when I was at the Ticket when Tom was running it, Tom Bigby, rest in peace, because it was entertaining and it was guy talk. It was a lot of, don't break it down, go to the caller, see what they have to say. If there's something in current events that is maybe non-sports related, utilize it, go to it, because if it gets listeners, you know, there were days where when I worked with Mike Valeni and Terry Foster, and their best shows were stuff that was non-sports. It was fun. It was entertaining, and it made for a good listen. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do.